What's up guys, it's the T-Ball and I am back with another video. Before I start, if you guys could leave a like and subscribe for more NBA videos, your support is greatly appreciated as we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if not subbed, be sure to hit that sub button as your support is greatly appreciated. I will be doing a ton of rankings, recaps, analysis videos, and top 10 videos, and so much other NBA content, so be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Also, turn on post notifications so you can stay updated on when my newest video will be coming out. So today, we're going to be going over the team that I believe Chris Paul should really sign with. So for a quick background, as we know, Chris Paul and the Clippers were eliminated in Game 7 of the 2017 NBA playoffs against the Utah Jazz. This marks the sixth straight time the Clippers have made the playoffs and not past the second round. So is it time for a shake-up? I think so. The core of DJ, Griffin, and CP3 just does not seem to click for the Clippers. Not to mention, giving max deals to Griffin and Chris Paul this summer will give them little room to make improvements overall on their roster, as they have holes in the small forward position and shooting guard position when Luke Mbah a Moute and JJ Redick will be free agents as well, and they will definitely command at least 10 million each. 10 million for Luke Mbah a Moute, as he's been a great defender for the Clippers this season, and maybe 15 million to even 20 million for Redick, as his shooting has always been great throughout his career. So the Clippers should start their rebuild collecting assets and go from there. What does this mean for Chris Paul? Well, let's see his options. So the popular choice, as I know and I've read, from tons of articles and sites, is the San Antonio Spurs, which is a good idea. But will a core of Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, and an aging LaMarcus Aldridge really get them past the Warriors in a very tough West? They might not even get a chance to even play the Warriors, as the Rockets have been great, and the Jazz, who they just lost to, are an up-and-coming team. They have Gordon Hayward, Rudy Gobert, and other great players. So, is this a good idea? It sounds like a good idea, but I don't think this is really the best fit for Chris Paul. It would also be a bit of a challenge for the Spurs to even get the cap space needed to sign Chris Paul. So they would also be getting rid of a ton of good role players in this process. Guys like Patty Mills, Pau Gasol, and other guys as well. So it's probably not a good idea after all, after looking at the situation the Spurs would have to go through if they want to sign Chris Paul. Could Chris Paul go back to New Orleans and sign with the Pelicans? It seems like a good idea on paper, but it'll be very interesting to see how it would actually work. Chris Paul would rack up tons of assists playing with Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins, as both guys are very athletic and score at will. I can see Paul lobbing it up to Davis and for the jam, or Cousins, who can get it on the top of the key and drive for an easy lay-in or jam. But spacing would definitely be an issue on this team, as we all know, Anthony Davis and DeMarcus Cousins are not great 3-point shooters. I know Cousins has been pretty good last season, but still, it's going to be very interesting to see how that would work if that would happen. And that would also mean the Pelicans would have to renounce the rights to Jrue Holiday. So a lot of people have, they want Chris Paul to join the Cavs. The Cavs have very little cap space. Probably not going to happen unless Chris Paul decides he wants to take like a $5 million a year salary for to sign with the Cavs, and I do not think that's going to happen. As we know, Chris Paul was one of the leaders in trying to get NBA players more money, and or at least like veterans who have been with their team for a long time. He wants to get them 5-year, $200 million deals, which is possible going into next season. So I don't think Chris Paul is willing to just give up $40 million to take $5 million to go with the Cavs. But it is possible the Cavs could trade J.R. Smith, who's making about, I want to say it's $14 million a year. I forget. Shumpert, who's making, I want to say $11 million a year, and some other guys, but I really doubt this will happen. So this leaves us with the Warriors, which is the answer, and I'm just kidding. I really hope that does not happen. It's not happening, I hope. But yeah, so my real answer is the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Bucks are in the Eastern Conference. First of all, they would not, if Chris Paul signs with the Bucks, he would not have to go through that West with the Warriors, Spurs, Rockets, Thunder, Jazz, and so forth. He would only really have to face the Cavs as his biggest threat, as the East is pretty weak besides Cleveland. The Celtics are the worst first seed ever. I might make a video on that. They're just a terrible team this year. For a first seed at least, they're still a good team. Don't get me wrong, but for a first seed, they're not a good team at all. Yeah, but this is my personal choice. Paul would get his money. The Bucks could clear up cap space by if Greg Monroe decides to decline his player option, trade off some other not so great contracts like Matthew Dellavedova, who's making about, I want to say, $9 to $10 million a year. And he would play with an up and coming team that has a hole at point guard. So Chris Paul would fit perfectly in that spot. He can throw lobs to Giannis, set up Parker for the easy jam once Parker is recovered from his ACL injury, kick it out to Middleton for an open three, and he'll have some great interior defense behind him, as Thon Maker is obviously a young player who has some tremendous defensive potential. We saw that during the playoffs, where he had multiple blocks and steals in quite a few of those games against the Raptors. And Giannis Antetokounmpo is obviously just a long, lanky defender who can protect the rim, guard on the perimeter, and he can just really do it all, to be honest. And it will be, in my opinion, a perfect situation for Chris Paul. The team has the potential to improve, and he would help bring some veteran leadership to help guide the Bucks deeper into the playoffs. So that's about it. I mean, that's my opinion. I think Chris Paul would be a perfect fit for the Bucks, but we'll see what happens during the free agency. I definitely think there's a pretty solid chance Chris Paul will re-sign with the Clippers on a 5-year, $200 million max deal, as it was reported that Chris Paul and the Clippers have verbally agreed on that, but we all know what happened with Jordan, DeAndre Jordan, who is on the Clippers. He's their starting center. He verbally agreed to a deal with the Mavericks, and then just, guess what happened? A couple days later, he signed with the Clippers. So what's your thoughts on this topic? Who do you think Chris Paul will sign with during the offseason? Let me know down in the comments below, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So once again, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Turn on post notifications if you haven't already. You can also follow me on Twitter at TJ's T-Ball, TJSTBALL. I will probably follow you back. If I don't, it's probably because I didn't see you, and if I didn't, then just hit me up with a tweet or message me, and I'll definitely follow you. So once again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys soon for my next video. See you.